Hello out there, this is Terkanil, and welcome back to the RxCraft server, Season 3. Yeah, I have a hat. Today, we are going to probably end up going right through this wall behind me because we need a little more space. But first, let me show you why. Doot. So, just want to show you this real quick. New Abbott enchanting room. Yay. So, down here, we've added a few things. So the big reactor completed. I added a cyanide reprocessor off the side here, so now all the fuel will get processed back into plutonium. Looks like the one I had in there I went through. So that'll be nice. I mean, this thing's doing pretty decent for us. We can go a little bit higher, but I'd have to re-engineer this thing. Not going to worry about quite yet. But Am has gone and built a tesseract. Actually, several of them. This is for mining. We're going to need space. I've got us conduits coming off the top here, which is then running up to the farming station up there that we built in a previous episode. And that thing is now up and running. And one thing I learned that I did not know is that we'll harvest the sugarcane correctly around the side here. So I now have, my potatoes here, my wheat over here, and I should have had carrots around here someplace. Where are the carrots? Potatoes. Wheat. Apparently we've got extra wheat. Okay. Anyhow. This thing is now running with the power, so it'll be going for a little while. Huzzah. Then we'll grab some more potatoes and throw in there. Actually, let me do that real quick. Am and I have been getting new gear, so you can see Am is now in full dark iron. Let me grab, he cooked all the potatoes. Okay. Let's deal with that. Dunk. We'll throw that in there. Alright, so we've got netherwort down here now. That's going. We got our industrial hemp and the now superfluous hallway for sugarcane. So we can take this out and do something else with it. Don't know what yet. Anyhow, because of the tesseract here and therefore the mining, we're going to need some place to store everything. Therefore, I need to make a hole. And it's going to go right here. So, I need to make a nice big room so that we can have some place to store all of our goodies. So I didn't realize how close I was to the floor. I don't think I really paid attention. Oh man. Let's just go down slightly. Just a little bit. Yeah. Just so there's that little extra floor buffer. Oops. I'll have to take out that very first one, no choice, I guess. Maybe I'll end up moving that room slightly up, or above us slightly, just like, one block. It'll do. Actually, it's right at the right place for a stair. At least right there. Alright, we're just going to do that. So let me actually figure out how far I need to go and then before I start digging this room down. And, oh boy, I'm going to be cutting it close, aren't I? Alright, I'm going to have to engineer a little bit down here to get the spacing just right. Yeah. See y'all in a few. And work has happened. So, still have the cell sound right there. Yeah, I can't exactly do much about that since... Yeah, that's like right here. So I'm just going to have to leave that there and hope no one decides to dig up or down right there. But we now have a large, spacious room here for us to work on. Sorry, I forgot to fill in my divot. That's where we can put our storage system for that Tesseract. Yank. Love those boots. If you're not familiar with the Ender IO stuff, Am and I are quite familiar. We love these things. Jump 3, you can jump like 4 blocks high. The speed 3 on here means you can move rather quickly by default and much more quickly when you run. And then what I've got on my helm right now, night vision, means that I can see in the dark. Love that. And then I added this extra space down here. Still got to clean it out because we got some rock hives right here. But you can see right here the hole that goes into the Tesseract. So we have those right there, and so now we have a space to work with. So the idea that at least I had, I'm pretty sure Am will like it as well, but this will be the general machine and sort room, and then up here would be the storage. So we only really need to go downstairs for, like, you know, general maintenance and such. I think that should work out for us. So next step is figuring out exactly how we're going to lay out the room. I've still got a few pieces of ore to pick up in here. We also gotta get some better lighting here because it's gonna be kind of dark. Can't just have torches everywhere. So many forms of everything. Alright, well, I'm gonna go see about talking to Am and see what he wants to do with it all. And then we can pick up from there. And we got a few things out of that mining session so far. Mostly just stone. I've had to clean out a few things so far. One thing that's kind of interesting is because we have chisel and the E04 mods, we now have 2 forms of granite. And diorite and andesite. So we have the E04 and chisel. I'm hoping that we can maybe combine them into one cache. Maybe sort some of that out. You know, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it right now. I need 10. 10. Nope. Nope. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wood. Let's see what happens if you run 2 types of granite into this thing. Okay, let's go. E04. Nope. Crap. Alright. Well, that's going to get a little annoying. So we're going to have 2 of everything. Alright. Oh well. So if any of you are playing with these mods, you have been warned. Alright. Well, I'm going to get back to work here, and so I'll put that like right there. See where we want to go next. So hopefully once I come back, I'll at least have an idea of what we're going to do with this room, and maybe we can start work. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So while I'm waiting to get the ideas from Emros as to how he wants to try going with it, I want to show you a couple things that we end up learning about with the E04. So if you've not played 1.9, this is what it looks like. In 1.9, it requires blaze powder to use a bruising stand. We kind of brought that upon ourselves. And in 1.8, you need lapis for enchanting. So, yeah. Did I really just do all that on there? Okay. So I guess I did enchant these guys. which means I still need to get a chest piece. Alright, I'm going to go get a chest piece because I don't think we have the dark iron. Yeah, 3 pieces of dark steel? Nope, not enough. Alright, let me get that. There's a sheep in the oil. I've got to save him. Easiest way, I pump it out. He'll be free after that. So continues our random poking around, and Amaros found this up top of our base, or where we're currently at. Literally, this is on the roof. And it's just a little ruin. I had a little chest back there, got some string, seeds, bucket and a bowl out of it. Nothing too extensive, but the interesting part was the trap. Yeah, you would have fallen straight into lava. Unfortunately, this was all right here exposed, which made it really easy to tell that there was something here. So, yeah, we're just going to dismantle this and use it for parts. Oops. Oh well, I wanted to get them down here anyway. So, we get some redstone, a couple torches, Peters, and sticky pistons. Awesome. So, with Am down there working on the output from the mining, he's got quite a bit going back there. I'll show that probably later in the episode, or maybe next episode. He's still working heavily on that. But if I run up in here, you can see that it's begun. We are starting to get a storage system in there. But anyway, we're going to be focusing back here on the reactor. So, one of the biggest problems we have is with power itself. I think that thing's dead. Yep. So I'm going to turn this thing back on. And therein lies the current problem. So, we have no way to really manage this thing, and this doesn't really turn itself off really well that I've seen. When it's full. I could be wrong, excuse me. But, yeah. And we don't want to just leave it running all the time. So, since we have, at least we should theoretically have that thing recognizing as a energy storage, we're going to build a power monitor. Now, I've already stuck a reactor redstone port in here and set the power on this thing to signal. So at this point, I should be able to pop a end-rail power monitor right there, and can have this thing turned on and off based on the how much power is in our storage. That is, you know, theoretically based on whether that thing recognizes as if the power monitor picks it up. I actually don't know if I've tested this. Oh, and this guy right here, if you've not seen it, is a wireless charger. So literally, as long as I'm in range of it, anything on my toolbar will charge. Unfortunately, that has changed from what it used to do. Well, I can't say toolbar. It should just be, it should say anywhere in my inventory. Any armor I'm actually wearing doesn't charge. Don't know why that was changed, but that was changed. So we're going to go and get a power monitor. Now, this thing is going to require a few things, so I don't know how much I'm going to have to... Actually, I really don't know how much I'm going to have to craft for this. So let me show you really quick. Monitor, right there. So we need base, a machine chassis, I think we have one left, a red energy conduit, easy, and a conduit probe. Red conduit, insulated redstone conduit, some silicon glass, and more electrical steel. So I need 8 electrical steel total. I don't even know how much we've got. Apparently none. Okay. So apparently I'm going to work on that first. So there's 9. I'm going to need 8. So I can get rid of you. And then I'm going to need silicon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And pulverized coal. And I think, yeah, looks like we're going to show you the storage right now because I need pulverized coal. 6, 7, 8. Stuff. Okay. Oh, yes. I don't think I ever mentioned it before, but I might change that too. You know what? I'm going to do it. I added a pattern here on the floor. You would probably, if you haven't seen it or noticed it by now, yeah, I added this. And I went all the way around the entire base. Thought it would, be nice to add a little extra flavor on the floor. There we go. So, yeah, there's the style I've got. The only break I had to take from the polished andesite was right here on the stairs, and I thought the cobble would work out well enough. Sure, it's cheap and doesn't look quite as nice, but it works. We've got quite a bit more wood. I decided to go and attack some of the giant oak trees out in that forest right there. Those things are huge. One of those trees, especially if it's one of the really big ones, is like 3 or 4 stacks of wood. Insane. Alright. Let me go and... Oh, yeah. Apparently the Ender IO guys decided to have a little fun. So, every once in a while, some of the machines will suddenly say, Hedobrand was here. Yeah. Strange. Don't know why, but there you go. Let me go ahead and get this thing crafted up, because it will take me a few minutes. And here we are. 1 power monitor. It's picking up 30 million RF in this stored power area down here, so I'd say it's working. So we're going to go ahead and set the engine control. Emit when less than, we'll say 30%, and enable it. Actually, capacitor. That's machine buffers. Wow. So it's picking up 30 million machine buffers, and this thing is considered a buffer. So it's not actually working because it actually wants an actual capacitor bank. Well, that answers that question. So that means we're going to need to replace that sucker down there. Huh. Alright. Let me talk to M, because we're going to have to do a little rejiggering down here. So, after a little discussion with AM, the decision was made to add a capacitor bank. I went ahead and just built this thing. So, capacitor banks are nice, big, and expandable storages for power. So, how these actually would work is you can actually take a capacitor bank of, and then, multiple of the same kind, and stick them right next to each other. And the bigger it is, A, cumulatively, the more it holds, and B, it affects the maximum input and output. You can see right now we're actually, the net gain on this thing is, 13 to 1400 RF per tick. This thing is putting out 3.6 thousand, so 3700 RF per tick. That's a ton. So, yeah, this thing's filling up quite quickly, which means this thing is now working correctly. So you now see we actually have that capacitor bank registering, and since I shoved that in the line directly right there, this thing is no longer registering everything down there. So like that cell right there is actually registering as a machine buffer. So since I don't care about that part, the only thing I care about is this, we decided to set the signal or the power storage down to 1%. So when that thing gets down below 1%, this thing turns on. So that should do it. I'm seeing so a lot, aren't I? I think it's getting late. And if you aren't familiar with all of this right here, this is how I'm managing the fuel on this thing. So we have the raw, in this case uranium, also your yellowite. It happened to smelt into uranium ingots. Yellowite and uranium are the same. They're different mods, like this one showing up at advanced solar panels. But yellowite is the what actually comes with the big reactors mod. Same thing. But as it's used, the reactor here produces waste. Waste comes out in the form of cyanide ingots. And then, so I'm having it pulled out into the cyanide reprocessor here. Then with a little bit of power, some kind of fluid, in this case I'm just using water, is then processed into plutonium. Plutonium is then fed back into the system, into the reactor. Huh, I may end up having to shove some kind of buffer right there. Not sure yet, though. That'll get annoying. And I actually decided to go with the item ducts for thermal dynamics on this case, just because they're, in this point, easier to, at least cheaper to build, because I don't need interpearls. And then finally, this thing right here for the cyanide, this is a reservoir. Ender IO, you can see there up in Walia. It's a 2x2 multi-block. Stick a couple of buckets in there and you suddenly have an infinite water source. It's awesome. And that should manage the big reactor. Just to show you on the reservoir, I have a second one up here. That's right there, and that thing is primarily feeding up here in the extruder. So this guy will have basically infinite water. And then we have to go and refill this manually. We'll probably deal with that again later. Something else over here that we added was the experience obelisk. Great way to store experience, so it's no longer on you, so if you die you don't lose it. It also is good for when you want to enchant stuff. So like when we're using this, or adding something directly to a armor with the anvil, we can just go draw out experience and use it. Alternately, we still have the essence berries back here. And so, you know, we can just gather experience, come over here, and pop it in. Yeah, good times. I think that's about all we got here. Something else we realized, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but that thing is harvesting our sugarcane. Instead of replacing it, it's just harvesting. So it's actually saving us effort, which means that, you know, this little area here is kind of superfluous. We haven't touched that in a bit. And then I'll probably end up having to get a farming station for all this, because I'm still having to do it manually. And harvesting on soul sand is annoying. I think I'm lagging a little bit. Get off. Alright. Let's see. Charged. Alright. But, yeah. I don't think I've got really much else for this episode this time. Just a lot of random going on here today. So, I think for today, that's all I'm gonna have here. Yeah. I'm gonna take my helmet off. Da-ding. Haha. I still have a funny hat. But I hope you liked the episode. Just as I said, it's just a bit of random going on. We're doing just a lot of chores, getting things built and going as we improve our base here. But as again, I hope you all enjoyed it. Please hit like and subscribe if you like to come along and see more. And I'll see you guys next time. For now, this is Terkanil signing off. See you later.